You didn't click this by accident. Deep inside you, there has been a quiet but persistent voice that keeps whispering, "There's more to me than this." You feel it late at night when the world goes silent. You feel it when you're surrounded by people yet still feel strangely alone. That's not loneliness, that's your higher self trying to wake you up. If you've ever felt like you don't belong anywhere, that's because you were never meant to blend in, you were meant to rise. Many people live their entire lives on autopilot. They wake up, go to work, scroll, sleep, repeat. But you feel an inner tension, a sacred discomfort, as if something unseen is pushing you forward. This is the same sensation reported by mystics, spiritual leaders, and even modern psychologists who speak about the call to purpose. It happens when the soul outgrows the small life it was given and starts craving something bigger. Think about it. Why do certain words, certain music, certain spiritual messages hit you so deeply? Why do videos like this one make your heart race while others do? That's resonance. When truth meets your spirit, it vibrates. And if this message feels like it's talking directly to you, that's because in a way it is. This is why Mirror of the Soul exists. Not just to entertain, but to remind you of who you really are. If these words are touching something inside you, go ahead and like this video, not for the algorithm, but as a declaration to yourself that you are ready to hear the truth. So tell me in the comments, have you always felt different, even as a child? Have you always sensed there was something special about your path? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read. From a young age, you probably noticed that you didn't think like everyone else. You questioned things others accepted. You felt emotions more deeply. You sensed energy in rooms, in people, in situations. This isn't imagination, it's heightened awareness. Studies in neuroscience show that highly intuitive people process information differently, often noticing subtle cues others miss. That's not a flaw, that's a gift. Ordinary lives feel suffocating to chosen ones. You may have tried to fit in, to shrink, to play small just to survive, but it never truly worked. Your soul rejects mediocrity. That's why boredom hits you harder than pain. You would rather struggle for meaning than live comfortably without purpose. Even your hardships weren't random. The betrayals, the losses, the emotional battles, they forged you. Just like fire shapes steel, adversity shapes power. Many of the most influential figures in history were misunderstood, rejected, and broken before they were revealed. You are walking the same pattern. One of the biggest lies ever told is that suffering means you are unlucky. In reality, suffering often means you are being prepared. Look at every powerful transformation in nature. The caterpillar dissolves before it becomes a butterfly. Seeds must break before they grow. Gold must be burned before it shines. Your pain wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal you. You were given emotional weight others couldn't carry. That's why you felt things so intensely. Trauma, heartbreak, disappointment, these weren't accidents. They were initiations. Each one peeled away a layer of illusion, pushing you closer to your true self. Psychology even confirms this through something called post-traumatic growth. People who endure deep challenges often develop greater wisdom, empathy, and inner strength than those who never struggle. That's not weakness. That's evolution. If you've ever wondered, why me? The real answer is, because you were strong enough. The universe doesn't give heavy battles to light souls. It gives them to warriors in disguise. You don't just hear words, you feel intentions. When someone lies, you sense it. When someone pretends, you notice the cracks. This isn't paranoia. This is emotional and energetic intelligence. Some people are trained to read body language. You were born to read souls. That's why shallow conversations drain you. That's why fake smiles exhaust you. You crave depth, truth, authenticity because your spirit operates at a higher frequency. You don't just want to know what someone does. You want to know who they really are. This ability can feel isolating. You might feel misunderstood or even labeled as too sensitive. But sensitivity isn't weakness, it's precision. A finely tuned instrument picks up vibrations others miss, and that's exactly what you are. This is also why you've been betrayed more than once. People are drawn to your light, but not everyone deserves access to it. Still, even betrayal served a purpose. It taught you discernment. You may not have noticed it at first, but things have been shifting. Your old habits don't satisfy you anymore. Your old dreams feel too small. You crave solitude, reflection, meaning. That's not depression, that's awakening. Spiritual traditions across cultures describe this phase as the dark night of the soul, where the old identity collapses so the true self can emerge. It feels confusing. It feels lonely. But it's sacred. You are not lost, you are being reborn. This is why certain people fell away from your life. This is why certain doors closed. They were aligned with who you were, not who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is powerful. Right now, your job is not to have everything figured out. Your job is to stay awake, to listen, to trust the process, and to keep walking even when the path feels invisible. You've probably noticed it your whole life. People look at you longer. Some stare. Some feel drawn to you but don't know why. Others feel uncomfortable around you even when you say nothing. That's not coincidence. That's energy. Your presence carries a frequency that disrupts whatever is false in others, and not everyone knows how to handle that. Even science supports this. Studies in social psychology show that humans subconsciously react to emotional and energetic signals in milliseconds. Long before words are spoken, people feel who you are. And when someone carries authenticity, depth, and inner power, it stands out like a light in a dark room. This is why strangers sometimes open up to you. They tell you secrets, trauma, or life stories without planning to. Your energy makes people feel seen. You are a mirror, and that's exactly why this channel is called Mirror of the Soul. You reflect truth, even when you don't try. But this attention also comes with jealousy, projection, and silent competition. People may smile while secretly comparing themselves to you. That's not arrogance, that's reality. Light exposes insecurity. You don't enjoy seeing people suffer. You feel other people's pain as if it were your own. When someone is hurting, something inside you wants to help, even when it costs you. That's not weakness, that's a healer's heart. Across cultures, those with this trait were shamans, empaths, spiritual guides, or counselors. Today, they often become the friend everyone leans on, the one who listens, the one who understands. You were designed to bring light into dark places. But here's the painful truth. Healers often get wounded the most. You give, you care, you stay, even when others don't. That's why you felt emotionally drained before. You poured into people who didn't know how to pour back. Still, your compassion is sacred. The world needs more hearts like yours. Just remember, even healers must protect their energy. No matter how much you achieve, something inside you keeps saying, this isn't all. Money, relationships, status, they don't fully satisfy you. You want meaning, purpose, a mission. This is a classic sign of a soul with a higher calling. You weren't designed to just survive. You were designed to contribute, to impact, to awaken others simply by being yourself. Even history proves this. Every major movement, spiritual shift, or cultural awakening started with individuals who refused to live small. They felt the same inner pull you feel now. That restlessness you feel, that's not anxiety, that's destiny knocking. If you've ever felt like you were meant for something more, like this video, and let me know in the comments what you think your deeper purpose might be. You can't go back to who you used to be, and that's a good thing. Your old mindset, your old fears, your old relationships no longer fit. You're shedding skin. This is why some people don't recognize you anymore. They like the version of you that was quieter, smaller, easier to control. But you're not that person now. Growth is uncomfortable. It creates distance, but it also creates clarity. You are learning who you truly are, not who you were taught to be. That's why you resonate with messages of awakening, empowerment, and truth. Your soul is ready. Stay with mirror of the soul if you want to keep evolving. And tell me, do you feel like you've changed deeply over the past few years? You just know things sometimes. You sense danger. You feel when something is off. You get gut feelings that later prove to be true. That's intuition, and yours is growing stronger. Neurologically, intuition is the brain processing patterns faster than conscious thought. Spiritually, it's your higher self communicating. Either way, it's powerful. This is why you should trust yourself more. You don't need constant validation. You already feel what's right. As you continue awakening, this inner voice will become clearer. It will guide you toward what aligns with your true path. Like this video if you've had moments where your intuition saved you. And write in the comments, have you ever felt something before it happened? Have you ever noticed how some people react strangely to you for no clear reason? You walk into a room and suddenly someone becomes defensive, jealous, or distant. You didn't do anything, you simply existed. That's because your presence reflects back what others are hiding from themselves. When someone carries unresolved wounds, insecurities, or suppressed truth, your authenticity feels threatening. You remind them of who they could be but are afraid to become. So instead of healing, they project. This is why chosen ones are often misunderstood. You are not here to fit in, you are here to awaken. And awakening can be uncomfortable for those still asleep. Don't let their reactions make you doubt yourself. Light does not apologize for shining. You may crave deep connection, yet often feel alone. That's not because you are unlovable, it's because your frequency is rare. Not everyone can meet you where you are. Your conversations go deep. Your thoughts go far. Your emotions go wide. That can feel intimidating to people who live on the surface. Even spiritual teachers and visionaries walked alone before they were understood. Solitude is not punishment, it is preparation. That quiet time you spend alone is when your power grows. It's when your soul speaks the loudest. Subscribe to Mirror of the Soul if you value depth over noise. And tell me, do you feel most yourself when you're alone? Life didn't go easy on you, and that was intentional. You were pushed, disappointed, ignored, hurt, and challenged again and again. Not to break you, but to see if you'd give up. Every time you chose to keep going, you passed another level. That's how strength is built, not through comfort but through endurance. Most people quit when it gets hard. You didn't. Even when you felt empty, even when no one clapped for you, you stayed. That's why you're here now, still standing, still searching, still becoming. You're not becoming someone new, you're remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Your confidence is growing. Your boundaries are stronger. Your spirit is waking up. This version of you doesn't beg for approval. It doesn't chase what isn't aligned. It stands in quiet power. That's what awakening looks like, not loud, not flashy, but deeply rooted. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. Your energy speaks. Stay connected to Mirror of the Soul if you're stepping into your true self. And tell me, do you feel more confident than you used to? When awareness rises, everything else follows. New people, new opportunities, new clarity. What once felt stuck will start to move. You are entering a chapter where things align, not because you forced them, but because you finally became ready. This is the calm before a breakthrough. Don't rush it, don't fear it, welcome it. You didn't come this far to stop now. You weren't born into this world randomly. The timing of your birth, the family you came through, the struggles you faced, all of it was precise. Every experience was a coded message preparing you for the moment you are in right now. Even the moments that made no sense were secretly shaping you. The heartbreaks taught you boundaries. The failures taught you resilience. The loneliness taught you self-connection. You are not behind, you are on schedule. The universe never wastes energy, and it did not waste you. If this message feels personal, it's because it is. Like this video and stay connected to Mirror of the Soul, this is where remembering begins. We are living in a time of confusion, fear, and distraction. People are more disconnected than ever from themselves, from truth, from meaning. And that's why people like you exist. You don't need to preach. You don't need to be famous. Your presence alone shifts energy. When you choose honesty, kindness, and awareness, you create ripples. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more awakened hearts. That's why you are here. That's why you matter. Subscribe to Mirror of the Soul if you feel called to be part of this quiet awakening. And tell me, do you feel responsible for making the world better in some way? Your old fears are losing their grip. Your old limits are fading. You are beginning to trust yourself, and that changes everything. Power is not dominance, it's alignment. When you know who you are, you stop chasing what isn't for you. You are becoming magnetic. Opportunities will start to notice you. People will feel your presence more. Life will start to respond. This is what happens when a chosen one wakes up. You are no longer defined by what hurts you. You are defined by what you learned. Your past tried to shape you, but you rewrote the story. You turned pain into awareness. You turned loss into wisdom. That's mastery. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. Stay with Mirror of the Soul as we continue walking this path together. And tell me, what are you finally ready to let go of? If you are here reading these words, feeling this truth, this is your confirmation. You are not imagining it. You are not lost. You are waking up. Your journey is just beginning, and you will not walk it alone. Every time you return to Mirror of the Soul, you return to yourself. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. And in the comments, write these words: I remember who I am. Because you do. And the world will never be the same once you fully step into it.